I'm Dr. Vinny Capetta, and I'm a pastor and licensed counselor. And so I'm often asked, when do you know that it's time to refer someone for counseling when you've been trying to help them, but they need more help than you can really provide them? If the person that you're trying to help is going through a severe depression or perhaps an addiction of some kind, and they do not have professional help, you'll want to refer them for help. You can still be a friend, you can still be a mentor or leader or pastor to them, but they need more than that. Don't feel bad if you've been trying to help the person for some time, but didn't notice the severity of the problem right away. Some people will intentionally or unintentionally mask what is really going on with them at first until they feel safe. If the person's situation goes from bad to worse, or if they move from just a crisis to now they're hearing voices, then it's time to act quickly and get them more help. Please don't feel bad that you couldn't handle all of their issues on your own. Don't think that making a referral means that you failed in some way. We all have roles in someone's life. If your role isn't a professional counseling role, then you shouldn't feel bad if that is what the person is going to need. If the person is talking about suicide or talking about harming others, you must do whatever you can do to ensure their safety. That means contacting a pastor or a mental health provider or sometimes the police or some other authority. If the person that you're reaching out to delays in answering you, then you may have to dial 911 or the police immediately. In an emergency situation, you do not need the person's permission to get them help. In one church where I served, I was speaking to a woman on the phone one night, and she was with some friends, and they were concerned about her suicidal thoughts. The suicidal thoughts didn't constitute an emergency, but just to be sure, we had her spend the night with the friends that she was with, just to ensure her safety. On another occasion, it was clear that suicidal thinking had taken over, and the person that I was working with could not assure me that they would not hurt themselves. And so I had to call 911 and send for help. On another occasion, I received an email from someone that mentioned suicidal thoughts. And so I tried to reach out to them, I couldn't reach them, and I had to call the police to do a well-being check because I couldn't get a hold of the person. The bottom line is the need to preserve someone's life outweighs our commitment to confidentiality at that point. There are some questions that we could use in addressing whether or not someone needs mental health treatment. So here are some of the questions you can ask. Does the person seem to be having difficulty maintaining basic functions of life? Has the person gained or lost a significant amount of weight? Would you expect that the person would be doing significantly better by now? Does the person's ability to cope seem to be on a definite downward spiral? Is the person overly dependent on you or other people? Has the person become extremely withdrawn or withdrawn from usual social activities? Is the person in any kind of abusive situation? Is the person behaving explosively or threatening violence against others? Does the person seem disoriented or out of touch with reality? Has the person mentioned suicidal thoughts or wishes or behaved in a reckless or self-destructive way? I want to thank the book, When and How to Use Mental Health Resources by Kenneth Huck for these questions. If you found this video helpful, take a moment to consider who you might share it with. You may also want to check out some of my other videos, and on some of those other videos we discuss support groups and less than urgent situations and crisis hotlines and suicide and self-injury and more. May the God of hope fill you with all joy and peace in believing, so that you may abound in hope.